I got you.
You got me.
I wonder how loud that was.
I know. Dude, it went all the way up too. Holy fuck.
Okay.
But,
All right.
Hey. Before we forget, turn off your notifications.
Hello, everybody. Are we? Okay, we're not recording it. Is this all gonna stay in? I guess we will.
I mean, there's a reason for it not to.
I just tell you to do?
I did. I muted it. I already turned my phone off.
Unprepared motherfucker.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Velocicaster, a very special, I guess, in association with Erratic Behavior,
Produced by Universal.
A podcast starring a bunch of different people. Right now, it's me, Dalton.
Patrick.
Elliot.
Chris.
Well, okay.
Obviously, we're not prepared.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do?
No, nothing. No, you did it. You did it.
Supposed to shut your mouth and look
You're both an asshole.
You did very well. So on this episode of Velocicaster, what we're talking about is basically, if you've already seen the title, we're wanting to talk about Pokemon and the influence it's had on our lives and the influence it's had on the world in general. And this is also a Thanksgiving episode because we're recording this the night before Thanksgiving.
Thanks for dating this.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll upload it tonight. But yeah, so it's kind of a special Thanksgiving 2017 episode. But yeah,
The idea behind it is that Pokemon has played a big part in all of our lives, and it's very special to all of us in its own way. I personally think legendaries suck, but we're going to talk about everything.
Legendary Pokemon?
Yes, I can't stand to use them.
Yeah.
Why?
I can't stand to use them. I feel like it's just like a cop out.
I can't stand.
Build something real.
I can't.
I perfectly understand that, but
But
it's
if you-
like
it's my preference, I
as a
understand.
concept, are they not awesome?
Now there are some that are awesome, and then there's some like Black and White that are stupid as fuck. And we let the cuss on this.
That's true.
It was terrible.
That was it was odd to me
Well-
because I remember I have a. Like, I didn't get the games, like, it took forever for me to get the games, but I always followed, like, the games religiously. Like, I watched the trailers, I watched gameplay of it, and then I got, like, the guide?
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Strategy guys.
It's like,
I'm totally wrong.
No, you're right. Yeah, the strategy.
Disregard me.
Oh. But it was, like, really, most of, all the Pokemon, like, books, they're, like, really, like, big... Like they're like
because then they contain the full Pokédex.
Yeah.
I remember those. Those were amazing.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah, now like the Sun, like the Pokemon Sun and Moon one, like the Pokédex is so fucking big, like it's its own book now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy. But
Crazy.
but I remember like you look through like it was like they have a section where you find all the legendaries, and I remember thinking like when I was a kid, and I was like, these legends are they were so. I liked some of them. Like I liked the what were they called? They're like the trio, like
the legendary big cat trio or the birds.
Cobalion,
yeah.
Veraziron, and I forget the last one.
I used to call that one Verizon.
I named them Verizon AT&T.
Oh,
and,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Because that's how I used to pronounce it when I was a kid. I said like it's like Verizon, but I said like Verizon.
Well, see, the thing is, I get where you're coming from, especially with like X and Y and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire and Sun and Moon, because when you're playing the games, it like you can trade, and so like even when I started Y, early on, I had several legendaries just from trading with people all over the world. But in the older games, and especially if you don't trade in the newer games, I think legendaries are very like rewarding simply because you have to get to a certain point in the game just to even get a legendary. And
unless you wonder trade and get lucky.
unless you wonder trade, yeah, exactly.
Wonder trade is whack.
I love wonder trade,
dude. I got like
there should be. I've heard. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You good? I don't know.
Here's what like I heard people saying this like this could make wonder trading better. Is they can have like ranked wonder trades. Like let's say you have
that would be be better.
Yeah, like but like let's say you can have the option like you can trade for whatever the fuck you want, but let's say you have like a Kyogre and you want to trade for like another legendary, so like it's more fair.
Section Wonder Trade.
Yeah, like I mean that's a normal trade, yeah, but like
just tiered, like say.
Well, no, I mean you can add in an element of randomness to it where you don't know what you're getting, but it is a legendary.
Yeah, you can like even say like,
you can even end up with another Kyogre.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be like legendary for legendary. It could be like legendary for. It could be level based, kinda. I mean, that could mean like you
all these level 100 Magikarps.
Yeah, like that could happen.
I would love that. No, so I mean, I brought up how I feel about legendaries. One thing I didn't like from Sun and Moon was that the legendary Cosmog, it actually evolved up to it. How did you guys feel about that? I mean, personally, I didn't like it. But like then again, like I said, I don't really.
You get basically the legendary, but then you can find a Cosmog and get a secondary one of those.
Okay, yeah.
Basically to trade.
As you can tell, I didn't play Sun and Moon 2.
I beat the Elite Four one time that just stopped. It's just I enjoyed the game, but it's just like the end game just couldn't pull me in further.
Right.
Yeah. I always thought like I enjoy the games, like I really love them, but I never thought. Every time I thought about it, I couldn't say I was like disappointed because they're not bad games. Like I'd say they're like disappointing games if they were bad, or I just didn't enjoy them. But I did enjoy them. It's just they were a little underwhelming. I don't know, but I feel like that's because my expectations were so high. Because this was like the first time, like I since like like I said before, Pokemon Black and White, I followed them. Like religiously, but this was like after they came out. I followed Sun and Moon, like as they were like on the first day it was announced. Like I followed it, and I remember like being in like high school, being in class and like watching trailers, or like waiting at home and watching trailers, and I'd like watch, PokeTubers like the King Nappy and Numb Nexus like talk about what they thought of the trailer, and those were like, yeah, that's like. It's weird to think that's nostalgic and they're like the newer games, but
yeah, cause like, I mean, I can look back on a lot of things, and especially since we're pretty much, and for the record, I just want to set this straight for anybody that's listening now. This is not going to be exclusively about Pokemon. It's going to be about a bunch of different things.
I believe he means the podcast in
general.
The
podcast, not this specific episode, but yeah, the podcast in general. I meant to say that at the beginning. But
I like me some Agumon.
See, like especially with me and you, Chris, because like if I when I look back on stuff that like I remember fondly, like I can look back at stuff like when my favorite movie is Jurassic Park. That was like the first. I remember when I first watched that, and I can remember stuff that I did, first video games I did, but Pokemon across the board. Like my first trading card, my first game, my first time watching the series, like when I got it on VHS, like what?
I don't really mean to cut in, but like my introduction to Pokemon besides the cards was we were very poor growing up, and going to Family Dollar and they had all these VHSs of fucking Pokemon. I don't make
it doesn't matter.
But like I literally, and I'm not joking, I had over 100 VHS tapes of it. And
Dude,
I had almost the whole first series and maybe most of the Orange League. But like it just like you said, mentioned the VHS and it just popped out. But
dude, the VHS it was so cool collecting and especially like we had the Dragon Ball Z VHS, and you know how with them you would get like the picture would. Like the side of it was just the whole picture thing. I love that. But yeah, I mean, looking back on just Pokemon in general, it's just that's why when the 20th anniversary came out, like when Pokemon turned 20, I turned 20, and so it's kind of cool that I grew up with something that I love and to this day, and I don't care. I love Pokemon. Like it's one of the greatest things.
Yeah, you were 20 when Pokemon became 20, and when Pokemon became 20, I became dead inside.
Well, I mean, we're talking about how much we like really love the game, but I mean, there has to be moments that stand out to each of us. Mine personally is the first game I really like hardcore played was Soul Silver, and getting past that
silver
fucking
or silver?
silver. My bad,
Okay.
silver. Getting past that fucking pseudo-udo. Because I was stuck in that damn forest and back in there for, I'll tell you, months.
Well,
and there's something I miss about the fact is that, with today's games, I mean, if you're stuck or something, you can literally go online and there will be hundreds upon hundreds of ways to get past this, or videos of it, commentary and everything. And it was so rewarding, just like getting that damn water can and pouring it on that damn rock tree.
Yeah.
Watching it wiggle and then beating the hell out of it.
Oh, you want to catch him?
The first time I saved it, I killed him, and I went back and caught it afterwards. And then I realized I wasn't in my play style. Back then, I was very stupid. I was one of those who, I would always get one of my Pokemon and train only it. And then all the rest, I did it forever.
My starter Pokemon was always the most, and it's because I wouldn't grind like I was supposed to.
I know, right?
I have a stupid story of this one time when I played Silver. It wasn't even the first time I played Silver. It was like maybe the third time, where I was just like, "Fuck my starter, Pidgey."
But yeah, in my personally, Silver is probably one of my all-time favorite games, and it's just, I don't know.
I
feel
feel like I'm in the minority here, but Gold, because Ho-Oh is where it's
Actually,
at,
it was
in
really
my
popular.
opinion.
Yes! No, Gold was mine, because, well, see, growing up, we stuck to a pattern. So, Chris was blue, I was red, and then, you were silver, I was gold.
No.
Who was yellow?
No. No. Here's how it went. Okay.
He was always the darker one, I was the lighter one. Because,
racist.
Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun, Ultra Sun. The only time we decided that we were going to switch it up is we haven't bought Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon yet.
I don't know about Ultra Sun yet.
Yeah, but we he was gonna get Ultra Sun and I was gonna get Ultra Moon just because we already had Sun and Moon.
Yeah. No, but here's how I got blue. He got red. I got Sapphire. He got Ruby. I got Diamond. He got Pearl. I got Black. He got White.
I had to stop.
Well, there's a funny story about the Ruby and Sapphire thing, and I always had Ruby and Omega Ruby, and he had Sapphire and stuff, and so it was because his favorite game is Sapphire, and we the more we
Smart man.
we'll see, because life went on, and I always made out mine was Ruby too, as far as that goes, but I finally told you and this may not seem like a big deal, but I finally told you this year that I actually hate Groudon, and Kyogre's my favorite.
Yeah, Groudon shit.
Well, yeah. My only problem with the whole Sapphire game, which I loved it, but I did get stuck on that. There's one part where after I think it's after the second gym, and you go onto that beach and you go up that road. There's this one part where you're coming to this grassy area and there's this bridge, and you can't really see anything. My dumb ass, I didn't know you could go up under the bridge. So I literally we're walking circles in the area. But one thing I didn't like was that so much swimming in it, and I could not stand it. I haven't even played the remake yet because how much I hate us surf.
I think I loved it because of the swimming. That's why I like.
This is why we'll never get along.
The swimming by itself isn't what makes it for me. It's the fact that you can dive underwater.
That was, I have to admit, that's pretty cool. But then again, didn't they have that thing where you can make your own secret bases and stuff in that game? Which, I thought that was going to be cool, and I did it for a little bit and got bored.
It was really only effective if you had friends.
Well, there's the explanation. I had no friends.
No, I never once did a base. I just thought, hey, that's cool, but I never had time. I act like I'm busy. I'm not busy.
I'm just gonna go kick the late sport ass again. I only have this.
Honestly,
he did, dude. He would go through it and go ham on just the whole thing, and I'll be like, dude, I'm still on gym 2.
Well, let me ask you. You're talking about you leveling up just one Pokemon all the way through. Mm-hmm. How awful was it when the freaking Elite Four did a refresh or something, or you get right there at the end and at one would die and you were screwed?
Yeah, it was. Well, my first experience with that was when I played Fire Red.
They fucking learn. They talk to each other after each bout. Each Elite Four.
They do. It's like artificial intelligence. It's
check out his Achilles tendon.
Every time they lose.
Just kill that Typhlosion, pump it with water. Which, by the way, I have a funny story. I had a friend, and his name was Dylan or Dalton one. So, but he told me I was training. Like I said, I was always the one Pokemon guy, and I always went with Typhlosion, which is a trend. I don't know if any of y'all do it. I almost always go for the Fire Starter, and it's something I've only recently broke.
With Charizard, I did, but I was such a huge fan of Totodile during that.
Totodile, yeah, I admit Totodile was badass.
I did both a Typhlosion and a Totodile run, and I have to say, Totodile was more fun, but I just love Fire Starters for the most part.
Here's how I do.
We got a couple of arsonists in there.
But after that, I have to mention how I broke that pattern of the dark games with Gold. I played Gold. Spoilers. For Blue. Okay, for Pokemon Blue,
I'm sorry.
But for Blue, I played it. I first beat Blue on a PSP emulator.
Oh really?
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. That show. I pimped out my PSP.
That's amazing.
I heard you like Pokemon, so
did you have a exhibit come in like, hey, we're gonna pimp up?
Yeah, I had an Atari. I had an Atari Lynx. Oh, he's just drinking juice.
He's just downing
For
a gallon of apple juice. But we can continue.
Yeah, because nobody could see it. But
They do that.
giant ass thing.
I did that. I pimped out my PSP. I got a bunch of stuff for it. I went to the library and I downloaded videos illegally. So
why would you admit that?
No one gives a fuck.
The librarians were talking about his ass.
We are far enough removed for it to not matter.
Which, by the way, I know I interrupted. I don't want to touch on this. You were such a smarter kid than me. Okay, because that shit. I got stuck on the damn pseudo-wudo and you're downloading illegal shit.
Oh, but yeah, because honestly, I got stuck. Fucking hard to beat. I hated that asshole.
This is gonna be on iTunes, this podcast, but for the YouTube version, iTunes is gonna be fine. I'm not leaving it. That whole thing is beep.
Subtitle it.
No, I hate her because she was so I'll get back to the other thing. But Whitney was so hard to beat. And then after, she wouldn't give you the fucking badge, and I was like,
She
bitch,
ran off.
yeah, bitch, if you don't give me my badge, you...
She was the opposite.
That was like childhood
rage in the Pokemon anime.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, you lost. Here's my badge anyway.
Yeah.
In the anime.
Yeah, but you beat her, and then she starts crying because she's a cunt. And then she wouldn't give you the badge. You have to walk it. I remember just standing
walk all the way
there.
out
Yeah,
and come back.
I kept talking to her
I was not when I came to you and I was like, "Hey, let's do a podcast about how much Pokemon influenced." I didn't think there was gonna be this much
rage and tears.
No.
Which, by the way,
You don't even know about my story of rage.
Please, are you
Oh,
done?
yeah. Do you know the you left off? You put the emulator on your PSP, I think it was.
Yeah, and I had a Pokemon, and I had the game when I had Pokemon, and that's when I first beat Blue. I had Venusaur, and Venusaur, he's my favorite starter. His back sprite looks like it doesn't even look. Have you seen his back sprite in Blue?
It's been forever.
It looks. I don't even
Is
know.
his one of the ones that actually changed? Because I was watching a video the other day about sprites changing. And I realized it's cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no! I'm trying to think. His is kind of. He used to be really fat. He used to be really thick.
He's always been a little chunky, but
No, but he was like.
TICC.
No, but I want to shit my phone's charging. But I want to show you a picture because it doesn't. It's like a jar. There, thank you. I got Dalton's phone.
No, that is not.
don't mind
Yeah,
that porn.
What's your password? What sort of fucking password is that?
Really? I have the thumbprint. I have an iPhone. I don't need.
Believe me, my phone is locked in for good reason.
Yeah.
What the fuck is there it is.
I felt said something that might have got me in trouble. But Yeah, while you're looking at that up, what I was trying to tell you about that one story was with the Typhlosion. One I trained, and then I was looking at my friend's Game Boy one day, and he showed it to me, and I noticed that the flames on his Typhlosion were different. I mean, it was just a glance out the corner of my eye. And I asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, if you train it really good and you get it special attack really high, its flames will be bigger than the normal ones." Automatically, I deleted my save, and I had already beat the Elite Four. Deleted it, went back, started over, and done it. And he was like, "What happened?" After like a few days later, and I told him, he's like, "Oh dude, I was just fucking with you."
What?
And I'm like, I literally punched him. He was my best friend. I punched him in the dick, and he deserved it.
See, here's the thing. We're family here. We ain't gonna do
I
that
was
shit
seriously about to say like,
We'll just do it because we want to.
I was about to say like you played yourself.
You played yourself. All right, now Venusaur's back spray. I won't interrupt again.
First, I'll show the audience.
Oh wow!
Oh, look at that. What the fuck is that?
It looks like it's been crossbred with Arcanine.
It's called a garden salad.
That just looks like it looks like a head of cabbage.
Yeah, I thought my PSP was like glitchy. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is that?
I might if I don't know if we're uploading this. I know it's definitely gonna be on iTunes. I don't know if we're doing this to VidMe. Our VidMe channel is called Sporadic for anybody that's interested, and then our YouTube is Erratic Behavior. So I don't know if we're gonna post it either one, but regardless, the whole point of that is to say that what?
Por qué no las dos?
Huh?
Why not both?
Well, I mean, I could do both, but
Pixel too?
yeah. Is Pixel something we can talk about?
Nah.
Pixel. The Pixel.
Pixel's something that happens when your titty falls out on TV. Espresso.
But yeah, basically what I was saying, I'll put the image of Venusaur as a sprite, looking like I had a cabbage on the YouTube.
That'll just be the entire thing.
That would be amazing.
That's why I love Venusaur.
Every time he says like cunt or whatever during that whole thing, it's just gonna bleed and it's gonna have a handle in it.
No, what you need to do is make it the cry for Venusaur.
Yes, I should not have dated this shit because it's gonna take forever for me to edit.
Never mind, this is not Thanksgiving.
No, but that's why I love Venusaur so much because I use him. I remember I had Venusaur, Hypno, Fearow. I don't know why I had Fearow. He was my dude. But I just like I don't want to use a Pidgey. I want to use a Fearow. But and then I have Vaporeon.
Of course.
What else did I have? What did I have?
Bless you. Now that I think about it, I can't remember who I used for my yellow, because back then I still did the one character thing, and I cannot remember who I used in yellow. Because I had a version of yellow, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved yellow, but I understand that it was Ash's Pikachu. That's essentially all it was. But the fact that he wanted to let you like evolve it.
Yes, that's one thing got on my nerves. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, bitch, then let me evolve you.
But, you my dude, but
I love you, Pika.
Hit him on the punch.
No,
by the way, shout out to Snapchat. Did y'all see this stuff? They had a Pikachu filter where it's Pichu, but you had to take enough pictures to evolve into Pikachu.
Oh, that's fucking.
And then you had to take enough to evolve into a Alolan Raichu.
Oh, that's even better.
Which is awesome.
Which, by the way, I love Alolan Raichu.
Oh,
it
yeah.
should have been a Alolan Pikachu. I'm not just straight up.
They weren't gonna do that though. You know they weren't because
a Alolan Pikachu should have been the Pikachu that can learn Surf.
Yes.
That would actually been smart. What? Were you done with your part of the story, or did you have more?
I'll just go quick. Okay, this is the entire thing. It was essentially saying I had Venusaur, Totodile, Mudkip.
I love Mudkip. I'm not even gonna lie.
Chimchar, Tedpig. Cause I did not like the 5th gen. Sorry, except for Tedpig. I love.
I didn't really play 5th gen.
Now they had some creative stuff for 5th gen, like the bug fire one. Mm-hmm. I love the
Volcarona.
I love that one. Like
I didn't know he was a legendary.
Yeah. He's not, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to go into a dungeon to find him.
Yeah, but
shit.
I mean, like he's cool, but he's like I saw him in the same way as like Salamence. Like he's a pseudo legendary.
That's it, yeah.
That's what I thought too, especially since one of the Elite Four has him.
Yeah, that's what
I think.
Yeah, why does he have him?
It's like a douche from the animated series who had a Darkrai.
Fuck him.
I know, right?
Fuck, yeah.
I didn't watch X and Y.
As much as we love
I actually didn't watch
Pokemon,
the X and Y anime. I went I
Oh,
watched
he had
everything.
the Darkrai and the Diamond and Pearl anime.
Oh no! Oh, I do remember. Okay, I remember that.
That guy cheated.
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
did.
He had a
What
game.
was your sixth?
He had a Game Shark.
Oh, no,
He had a
no,
Game
no,
Shark.
no,
a Game Shark.
yeah. 6 was it was like first I used Froakie. I beat X 3 times in the span of like, what the fuck are you doing?
My hair's so naughty.
His
from
hair's
being in a-
revolving.
I had my hair in a ponytail. And my hair's so naughty. I just like ripped out a chunk of it.
Revolve.
Revolving.
Revolting.
No, but,
Revolving, my friend.
no, I beat like X. Dog can tell you this. I beat X like 3 times in like a week. Yeah. And I remember like staying up. I was staying up until 2 in the morning. Like just.
Now he has a
I
job.
love those games. Those are my.
But it has to be at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. But what was it? Like shit. No, I had I used Froakie at first, and then I played it again, and I used Fennekin. I never used Chespin. That's my least favorite starter. Least favorite.
I can see that.
It's a chestnut that turns into a football player.
Yeah, no, but the weird thing is
Well,
I
did you
liked
got
it
what
too.
they were meant to be though? It was like the RPG thing. You know, Fennekin grew up to be the mage. Chespin grew up to be the knight, or evolved to be the knight, and then Froakie turned out to be the ninja. Which when someone pointed it out to me, I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, no, I like the other 2 evolutions, like Quilladin and what's it?
Chestnut.
Chestnut, yeah, but I didn't like Chestnut because he looked like an asshole, you know? Because his design
That's pretty
was,
much how they made him in the anime.
I just loved Elliot's reaction to that. It was like, he looked like an asshole. And Elliot's like, yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
he did.
oh, but then I used Litten for Moon. I used Litten for
Rowlet all the way. So I like that, like Popley.
I like me that round boy.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I used Rowlet. I never finished Sun though. I still need to finish
You
Sun.
barely started.
I barely started Sun.
But
I don't have time anymore. But I need to make time. Pokemon deserves a little bit of time at least.
Yeah, forget your girlfriend, your job. You need to play more Pokemon.
No. Keep girlfriend, definitely. Since she's listening. Please don't leave me. Keep job, get rid of sleep. And just play during that.
I've played that game, it doesn't work out well.
We'll get rid of the job then. But then if I get rid of the job, then I won't have definitely won't have time or a place to play games.
Thing you'll do. No, but what were we talking about? We're talking about the that guy having Darkrai.
Oh yeah, I mean, bullshit moments in the anime are far and wide. I mean, like most recently, I think everybody can agree it was Ash losing the Kalos League, which I mean, Pikachu killed how many took out how many pseudo legends? I mean, like it's like
it was like
Iron
a
Tail left and right. Pika, bitch.
No, well, I was upset. I was like hoping to wake up and see like he won because I wasn't able to watch the episode.
That was the biggest
X and Y Darkrai.
That was the biggest bullshit.
X and Y.
I'm not lying to you. I live streamed it.
You did?
I did. I stayed up late that night and was watching it, and like I fucking like swung at something. I don't know what it was. I hit at something. I was pissed.
I was at work and I was like waiting, and I looked up when I knew it was done.
Yeah.
But right when I looked it up, he texted me. He was like, "Ashton."
I remember the live stream. It was streaming on YouTube, and it was just like some people were like, Ash choked.
Ash did not choke.
He did.
He did not. He tried his best. That's all you can do. Because
and yes, we're all adults, and we're debating the Pokemon anime.
Yeah, it's weird because
what happened was bullshit.
Yeah. And life is too depressing for us to worry about what's happening.
I mean, dude's never going to grow up. He can't close with a chick. Give him a damn championship.
Exactly.
And then he went to school because in Sun and Moon, which I thought was cool. No one liked it, but I thought it was cool.
Now, Ash's animation aside, you know how childish he looks. The rest of the animation on the show is actually really great. I mean, it's very beautiful.
The battles are awesome. I remember watching. It was like the when he did his first like challenge, and he was fighting. He was fighting a gumshoes, the totem gumshoes, and then the young gooses.
Donald Trump.
He had and then he used his Rowlet and Who did he had Rowlet and was it Pikachu? Did he use Pikachu?
I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with this.
It was either
Name.
Rowlet or I didn't think he had the Rockruff.
He had Rockruff after that.
So it was Pikachu and Rowlet.
Yeah, and they were going in. That was so fucking cool.
They were going hard. They were going ham.
No, because like it was the way it was choreographed. Like Pikachu fought Gumshoes, and then Rowlet fought Yungoos. But then they'd like when like Pikachu would get hit, Rowlet would like come up, and then Yungoos would come up, and then Pikachu like. You know, it was fucking awesome.
Which
your face was like so full of joy.
Did you guys see that in the Ultra Moon you can get what is it, totem-sized Pokemon?
Yeah, that shit's weird.
I wonder if they'll get like a physical boost or if it would just be something aesthetic.
If they did, that'd be weird. Like they should at least because what is it like?
Well, it could be like the thing in X and Y. What was it called in X and Y?
What do you mean?
Mega Evolution?
Mega Evolution. It could be like a Mega Evolution thing, but for
no, that'd be weird.
He's like,
like,
no, you're wrong. Shut up.
No, like because like what it did, like when they got like the aura, the totem Pokemon had the aura. That was like the special defense or the special attack rose. Like that could be like a permanent thing.
Or do you think they're gonna bring back Mega Evolution?
I wanted them to. I don't know why they did. It's so that just butters my pecan. That makes me so mad.
I love that.
I think it may return whenever they bring back, or whenever they move the development from the 3DS to the Switch.
Pokemon just like
I won't start.
I'm
so
gonna
bad.
say
I don't
you're
know.
100% right. I think I agree with that because yeah.
I just want.
That's pretty much all.
What if we had a game that had all 7? Is it 7? 7 regions.
7. Yeah, there's 7.
Unless you include the side games.
Oh yeah, the
fucking Crystal,
Pokemon Rangers and all that shit.
Oh! You're not talking about bootleg side games. You're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Look, do you guys remember that Pokemon game? It was 3D that the guy had made. It was of like Kanto.
Yeah.
I sent you that. It looked amazing, but it was like in Portuguese or something.
Cease and desist.
But what was I saying? It was like no, but I'm not gonna say my thoughts on what I think of the Pokemon Sun and Moon animation because like I have this thing on my channel where what?
Talk louder.
Oh.
That's a signal for louder.
No, but
just so it picks you up because it's like really small.
Yeah. On my on my channel I did a
insert the name of your channel.
Pseudonym.
Yes, go follow Pseudonym on YouTube and Pseudonym147 on VidMe. What? Right? Is it 147?
I thought I fucking changed that.
No.
No, but
you thought wrong.
Yeah, but I have a Pokemon Indigo League show like season review, and that's my longest video. That took months to make.
Well, I mean, honestly, I thought I'd stopped watching the series for a while, and you know, I think I stopped watching it in black and white once again. Which I mean, in the games, Iris was like a really cool character. Like she's young, she's a Dragon Master. In the show, I watched like a little bit, and she's just like a dick.
Yeah, because she's like, stop being such a kid. It's like
Iris
she's younger than Ash.
Yeah, Iris was one of my least favorite characters of all time. Besides like.
I mean, it's fine if she's like immature. Like she could be immature and like.
I paid like no attention to that series. Wasn't there like a butler or something?
Oh yes,
I think so. Yeah.
What was the Japanese thing? The male host. That's what he was.
Oh yeah. He was a. What else did they call him? They like call him a Pokemon like connoisseur.
You see now? Now I'm just imagining Alfred Pennyworth. This is how.
All you need to know is Brock is superior. That's all you need to know.
Brock
and even Tracy. Which, I mean, I hated him.
Tracy was the bomb! What are you talking about? Tracy was so fucking cool. Okay, I wanted to be Tracy, let me tell you that.
And the tables just turned on me.
Tracy was,
It's almost like you bring attention to the fact that you're just pulling out a gallon thing of apple juice.
Now they know.
I gotta take a picture of you just down there. Put that up.
Oh no, but what was it? I'm gonna get back to. I'm gonna get back to
X and Y, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to Tracy. No, but for Sun and Moon, I'm not gonna say my thoughts on it because I'm reviewing every single season. I'm gonna get to it, of Pokemon, and then I'm gonna get go up to Sun and Moon, I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on it because that's the most people either love it or they hate it. Like I've never seen an in between, really.
Well, I mean, with X, I watched a little bit of Sun and Moon, and my main thing with it is that, you know, like I said, I went back to Pokemon with X and Y, and you know, if you've watched X and Y, it was a very Ash matured a lot, and he did really great. And you know, he had the best team he's had in a long ass time.
I would assume the best way to define it was it was much more a gritty feeling.
I guess that could be it, because I mean, and it also had a thing where, like, unlike in the past, where you know, he would have like rivals and stuff, and they would actually come back, and you know, they would reappear again, and then like they totally just washed it away in the end with Sun and Moon, because they really did like just like, well, you're going back to a child. Yeah. And you know, he's more immature in Sun and Moon. Well, not more immature, but I mean, he's pretty immature. He's down there where like the first like Kanto.
Yeah, but he still has that X and Y feel sometimes, because when he's like helping Lily with like her fear of Pokemon, he'll tell her it's okay, and he'll do like stuff like he'll hurt himself to help other Pokemon. I mean, he did that.
Well, he even did that kind of thing. He did that in like Deoxys. What is it? Destiny Deoxys? What is the name of the movie?
Which, by the way,
I'm pretty sure Destiny Deoxys.
Destiny Deoxys. When he was in that movie, like when the little kid that was afraid of Pokemon and everything, but he had, which is very similar to the Sun and Moon arc.
In the first season, well, the very first few episodes, if not the first.
Yeah.
He protects Pikachu from the birds.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing with Caterpie where he's trying to show Misty that like Caterpie's not just a gross bug and that you're hurting his feelings and stuff, and he has feelings. Misty, let me tell you something. Misty's one of the fan favorites, and I like Misty, but she was a bitch.
She was, which is one thing I loved in the Sun and Moon episode where she popped back up, how her relationship with Psyduck had changed. Like, they were like good friends now. It warmed my heart, because I remember watching Caterpie break down in tears, and I'm like, I love you, but I hate you, you bitch.
Like, you side with, like, a caterpillar.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Pokemon, is that all these different creatures, and I know you're on the brink of something, but all these different creatures, the beautiful thing about the anime is that you feel for them.
Caterpie isn't a caterpillar, he's a god.
My comedic timing has probably been lost, but all Misty wanted to do was ride her bicycle.
This is true. It really is. Like, all she wanted to do was catch some damn water types and ride her bike home, and Ash is just like, what is it? He's like the god of destruction for bicycles.
I was actually, because I was rewatching. I was rewatching the series yesterday, and when he's running away from the Spearows, and he grabs her bike, he doesn't say, I'll be right back. He says, I'll give it back to you eventually. As if he's ever going to run into her again.
No, because he like saw Kate, her booty. You know, he's like, I'm going to come on back.
Dude, he already established we're all adults and she's 10 years old.
No, I'm saying from the perspective of another 10-year-old.
Of a 10-year-old.
So you're talking about, I'm just going to stop there, because, you know, we don't need to be arrested already.
Yeah. No, but, what was it? I was trying to think, like,
I do have another question. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to distract you anymore.
No.
And this is something that's bothered me from the very first season. And as we covered before, Patrick had no friends as a child.
We just had each other.
Okay, what did y'all's takes? Because a few times in the anime they have showed real animals.
Yeah.
They have it a few times, and then other times you don't see them anywhere at all.
Yeah,
I think that bothers the hell out of me.
I think
like in the Cerulean Gym, they have a whole aquarium of just like normal water
fish.
Water fish.
Yeah. But I think they eat.
And I actually just saw that one.
Well, in X and Y, you could buy like Magikarp and stuff to eat.
Yeah, for who cares?
What?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, you could buy. It's like an exquisite dish or something. It's like one of the fancy restaurants.
I would easily pay 500 Poké Dollars from a man in a Pokemon Center just to train it to be a Gyarados. Yeah. Because I do that every time when I play the original games.
Then you can give that Gyarados to the sushi bar, have them fry it up.
Fuck.
Oh, but what I was saying.
I love Gyarados though. I will say my first favorite is Charizard, but my second favorite is Gyarados.
Gyarados
Of
was
all
badass.
time, of all,
I mean,
not just Kanto, all time.
If like your first introduction to the games was anywhere between like generation 1 and 2, like that was like the most intimidating thing ever. Because I mean, like your like main dragon types at the time were was Seadra, or was it Kingdra or Singdra? Kingdra. Kingdra was badass.
Yeah.
You facing him at against the last gym in Johto.
Yeah.
Like he whooped my ass.
No, if we're gonna talk about some like dickhead water types, Misty's in the game, especially Fire Red when they reboot Fire Red. Her Starmie.
Oh god, no.
Wait, it's Staryu and then Starmie.
It's
yeah.
Starmie.
Starmie was
Starmie
the
gave me more
biggest.
trouble, yeah.
Starmie was sucked. I hated Starmie.
Then she did like a cover, like
I
all
love
the time.
Charmander. Exactly. I love Charmander so much, but there were times when I would replay the thing that I did Bulbasaur just for the sole fact to have the opposite.
Well, I didn't even think about it, but I mean, if you're going into it with a Charizard or Charmander, I mean, like if you don't get the right setup on your team, those 2 first gyms are going to beat your ass.
Yeah, exactly. But like, what could you? You can get Mankey or Brock.
My man.
Yeah, you get Mankey for Brock if you have. But what do you get for?
Wait,
for Misty, you have to have like a Caterpie or something
next to
and evolve it into a Butterfree.
Yeah,
I thought you got it from him after you beat him.
No,
I was like, what?
No, remember Viridian Sea, you go to the
What
left.
game was I playing?
At the left, the route, you get a Mankey.
You see, I'm pretty sure if you go up Nugget Bridge in that grass area to the left of it,
What?
Can you get?
Which, by the way, Doug
You don't remember Nugget Bridge?
I don't
cleared
remember
with that
that.
bitch.
I haven't played Red in a long time.
It's the
Doug
bridge
Tria?
that you go up.
With him, I
To
get
get
that
to Bill's
magnitude
house.
going,
Oh, okay.
and like I would
yeah,
clear
okay.
every time. I'll kick some ass with him.
Anyways, what I was saying
That was a
was,
fucking jumbled mess on Audacity.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I love
you can go up Nugget Bridge, and then off to the left there's a little grassy area, and I think you can catch an Oddish in there.
Yeah, I think. But even then,
That's
you
not
have to go past like all those the 5 trainers, then the grind.
But generally, I think you want to do that anyways before fighting.
Did anybody else
Hey,
try
yeah.
to join Team Rocket when they beat the grunt? Like he
Yeah,
asked you to join.
yes
And
or
like I would
no.
try yes all the time. It would not work, and I'm like, oh, my game's fine.
No. What he would do, he would say, hey, why don't you join? And then you click and it's like, oh, come on, just join. I'm saying yes, come on.
I want to join you. This sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Give me those sweet nuts.
Before say it. I realized I kind of sound dumb when I said I'm not going to say my thoughts about Southern Moon. Even after
No,
I said,
you explain why.
I praised like the fight. I like Southern Moon. I'm talking about the style.
The art style.
Yeah, I said I like the animation. Well, I said I like the animation style, but like the change. Did I like the change?
yeah,
Do I like it more than what it was?
Right, you're gonna say that for the
I'm
and you can we didn't discuss this, but I know I actually did not think about this until because like right now we're at the 43 minute mark, and I didn't think about this till we got about 15 minutes in. I was like, fuck. Chris told me a while back that he wanted to do a Pokemon podcast on pseudonym.
Oh, I can.
And I was
thinking,
thinking,
do us the pseudonym.
yeah, and I was thinking, I was thinking like we could put this on pseudonym too, since some of your thoughts are already on here. Would you want to put this on pseudonym as well as sporadic? Would you want to put this on? We can put it on both.
Here's what I'm doing.
This is a good enough.
No,
channel, but
what
let's
I'm gonna do is for the podcast, I want to do what I was thinking as I thought more about. I want to do the manga. No one talks that much about the manga, and I fucking love the manga.
Okay, I love anime and stuff. I'm not into anything ecchi, because, I mean, that's really hard to explain when somebody walks in and you're seeing a pair of, animated boobs bouncing.
Yeah.
But, is the manga, really, perverted, or,
Not
really
perverted. Not perverted. It's darker.
Well, I mean, I could get behind that.
No, it's not.
We did kill
Do we
that
see a dead
rabbit.
Pikachu?
No, you see a Arbok get chopped in half.
Yeah, I
That's
remember
shit.
that Scyther
Shit.
cuts him in half, yeah.
Well, see, I have the first three
to
of
be
the
real, it's not a real Arbok. It was a fake one. It was a dead one. It was an illusion kind of, but it still showed him be cut.
You got my hopes up, and you dashed them quickly. Bravo, good sir.
All we want is animal murder.
No,
and that was a joke.
No, but the manga's.
We're gonna have PETA on our ass in like 2 seconds.
Well, we should review the PETA Pokemon game.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, PETA made a Pokemon game about animal
about the
abuse.
time that Black and White were coming out.
They need to stay in their own lane.
Wait, what is?
It's like
It's like an
please beat
abuse
Pikachu
thing.
or something like. It's so stupid.
Oh, PETA, go.
PETA.
And
We're talking about PETA from
Hunger
Katniss.
Games.
Yeah.
Catnips Everdeen.
Katniss. Okay.
Catnips Everdeen.
But
Something that kills me is that I know as an adult it shouldn't really matter, and I know the anime is geared toward children. I know in Black and White at the very beginning of the series they say he's 10 again.
10 what? Really?
Yeah, it says Ash Ketchum 10 years old.
Oh, I thought he was always.
The only
Like,
He's
thing-
always been 10, but they never
Pro
touched on.
Diamond and Pro, he looks 15.
Can I just say,
X and Y he looks older.
if
Yeah.
there are adults that are still training, and you run into them in the game, and you see them in the series, what I don't understand, it's okay for Dexter's Laboratory. It's okay that Dexter never grows up. It's okay that Johnny Bravo stays the same age. It's okay that all these characters stay the same age. But when you make a show that's sole purpose,
It clearly has a timeline.
exactly,
Yeah.
and he progresses. Why not let him age?
Well, that
Because for 10 years he would be still younger than me.
No,
and you guys.
for the review for my Pokemon review, I watched the entire Indigo League series. Like I watched all 82 episodes, and I remember it was either before or after they beat the last gym, and it says a year has passed since they start their journey. I was like, bitch, what?
But it always baffled me that they never let him grow, and they never let him.
He grew like
because it would be more satisfying if he if he became a Pokemon master and he was like 20 years old. It would be more satisfying for me because it's so unrealistic. And even if every single episode, which a lot of times it was, especially in the Kanto series, even if every single episode was every day, and you had 365 to be 1 year, which I think, and unless I may sound like an idiot, maybe that's actually what it is.
no, it's not.
It's not.
because like 60 episodes in, it's been a year.
And it's been around.
Yeah, and
well,
then
the show's been around
winter and summer.
The show's been around for almost 20 years. It's because the games came out, the games and the trading cards came out 20 years ago.
Well,
And the
that's
show
just
came
saying.
out shortly after.
That's just saying each region is a year.
Right.
That would still be more reasonable than what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and once again we do realize we're adults talking about a child's cartoon. But
Look, if grown ass men can be called bronies and talk about how
this is true. I mean,
My Little Pony is the greatest show ever. You know what? Pokemon. I love Pokemon.
do you watch it for the plot?
I do.
It's my favorite part.
I'll watch it for. I watch it for Meow's thickness. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I watch it for the articles.
You got some juicy buns.
I can't wait for that payday.
No,
Which, by the way, something else I want to add: X and Y. Now, I don't know if you guys watch it. It seems like Chris watches it more than you two.
I didn't really watch X and Y.
I said was lit.
Now, it really is. I mean, the one thing I love
It's on
the
Netflix.
most.
When we get done with this, we might watch that instead of The Punisher.
Now, there's a scene where they deal with death in X and Y, and it's got a Esper. And the episode made me tear up. It was very emotional, and I love the fact that it actually got something serious like that.
Oh well, they did that, and
Sun and Moon, yeah.
in Sun and Moon when Ash
Oh,
got
the
disintegrated.
Snout or
No, not that.
Stout Lout or something like
Yeah,
that.
Maybe that's a
Stoutlet.
spoiler. I don't know.
Stoutlet.
Spoiler.
It's
Are
been
you
out
talking
for a
about the
little bit.
movie?
Spoilers. The dog dies.
No, there was an episode of Sun and Moon.
Yellow.
It was an episode
Come
where
back,
he got
killer.
disintegrated.
There was, and maybe this is a whole Mandela effect thing, but there was an episode, and I saw the article because I didn't watch the episode.
No, that was the movie.
What?
That's the
What
new
are you
movie.
talking about?
The new movie, yeah, he gets well, you know what? That's a spoiler, so we're going to back off on that one.
Oh yeah.
It's too fucking late now.
You're the one throwing out disintegration.
No, but it was the Stoutlands, Litton's friend
Editing.
Stoutland. Yeah.
Now, something else that was really amazing, and a lot of people didn't watch it that I know of. Now, I'm sure you all heard about the Origins anime. The where it looked a lot better. Now they did a web series. They did a web series.
Red.
They did a web series called Pokemon Origin or Generations.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Wait, which one's the one with red? That's Origins, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the one where Pikachu was there.
Pokemon.
And see, there was a lot of hype around it going about like maybe they're actually going to do a series on Pokemon that's a little bit more mature. And they never delivered it. They never delivered on it. And it's like the Pokemon movie they're getting ready to do, the live action one with Inspector Pikachu or something like that.
Pikachu.
Let me tell you something.
God,
Let me tell
no.
you something, movie studios, and I'm going to get real up close and personal. When you cast The Rock as Pikachu...
Okay, that might be the most awesome part.
Yes, they did.
They're trying to get him. They're also trying to get the guy who did Wolverine and
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
Now,
I just want the dude.
okay,
Naruto.
studios.
People thought
Cast Hugh Jackman because he's better.
remember when they were trying to what's his name? Danny, the short guy,
Danny DeVito.
And they asked him about it and he was like, what the fuck's a Pokemon?
I love that.
Yeah. But
Humpty Dumpty, what is that?
no,
Danny DeVito could be a Pokemon.
Danny
to be honest.
DeVito looks like Electrode.
he's a beautiful.
We love you, Danny DeVito.
Sponsor us.
The Twins 30-year anniversary edition.
Let's just all okay. When he in Batman Returns,
Penguin.
when he bit, what was it he bit? Like I know he tore into some fish, but he bit some guy's hand off or like his fingers off. I was instantly, when I first watched that when I was younger, I was instantly scared of Danny DeVito.
As you should be. It looks like something that popped out of that
I
bed.
think my first introduction to Danny DeVito was Matilda.
Oh, I hated him, but I
You
hated
know-
her too.
He actually adopted him and cause I can't remember the chick's name, but she's from Cheers. She plays Rosa, I think is her name in Cheers. But they were married in real life. I think. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm saying wrong.
I thought
Yeah.
they were still together. Though.
Well, I think they are, but they actually adopted the girl that played Matilda because she had such a crappy home life, and they took her in. So that's kind of awesome.
The movie still sucks.
The movie sucks ass, but like, thank you, Danny DeVito, for being a stand-up guy and not following the current trend.
My most recent memory of Danny DeVito is him at a Dead Ma 5 concert. And
Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse, Dead Ma.
Dead Ma 5.
It's
We're-
spelled
we are
Dead
going to get
M-A-U,
shanked
okay?
Because of you.
You don't fuck with Dead Mouse fans.
to get back on topic, Lou, Pokemon.
Come on.
Oh yeah, and never mind, we'll shut up.
No, you go right on
I was
ahead.
gonna say
I
fuck you, knock
want-
off Mickey Mouse.
I want to talk about something I mentioned earlier.
The rage thing.
The angriest thing that I've ever experienced in terms of Pokemon was the first time I made it up Sky Tower in Pokemon Sapphire to fight Rayquaza. I had already used my Master Ball on Kyogre because I was young and foolish.
Young and foolish. I know it.
But I had 99 Ultra Balls and like 10 Timer Balls.
So I guess you just timed that. You just saved that thing and you was ready to go in, and it took everything.
I was down to like 10 Ultra Balls and no Timer Balls.
What?
Before I could catch Rayquaza.
Good lord.
I know Rayquaza is like your favorite.
I was so livid, I nicknamed it I Hate You. I still have that Rayquaza.
Now, Rayquaza and Deoxys, I have to admit, I don't like legendaries, but like they have some of the coolest designs, especially Deoxys. I mean,
I freaking love Deoxys. Like Rayquaza or Rayquaza, whatever his name is. I love Rayquaza, but Deoxys has got to be one of my favorite legendaries.
I love Kyogre.
which like
Kyogre's probably
Kyogre's
one of
awesome.
my
we all have favorite Pokemons. I mean,
Let's
mine's
go around.
Flygon.
Flygon.
Love it. Don't know why.
Yeah.
It should have a Mega Evolution that makes it a Bug Dragon.
Yeah.
Why is it
sorry.
not already a bug?
I know, right?
Bug dragon. I mean, that doesn't mean it's. I always see like bug Pokemon as weak, but there's like some powerful ass.
There
bug
really
type.
is. I was going to do it like one of the reasons I wanted to do the 5th generation is that they introduced so many bug Pokemon. Some pretty cool ones too, like Shred Ninja, I think it's called.
Mhm.
And like,
Oh
I mean,
no,
Shedinja?
No, that's
Shedinja.
from 3rd gen.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it evolves from Ninkala, then Ninjask, and then
Okay, I'm thinking about
Shaniqua. I'm sorry. Came out of nowhere.
No, the one that there's 2 bug Pokemon, and they look when they evolve, they look like the other one. Like one gets the armor from the other one, and one becomes like super fast. I'm talking about the one that looks like a wrapped up like.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
It looks like a wrapped up cheetah.
Eska something. It's like shit. I don't have my phone.
But yeah, there are a lot of like real. Well, I would say decent bug Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, let me see.
Which, by the way, I love Game Grumps when Danny and Aaron went against the Elite Four, and then they didn't know that psychic Pokemon were weak to bug.
Right. Shout out to Game
No,
Grumps.
not that
though.
one. Yeah.
There's just one of them.
Just random shout out to Game Grumps.
Which, by the way, I didn't get the point behind the one that like has like no life at all.
This? It can only be hit by super effective attacks.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
damn, that's a.
That's why.
Oh shit! He's so lit.
He's
Yeah.
so
He gets
lit.
so lit.
Yeah.
I would have his.
But
powers.
my favorite Pokemon, I would have to say, it flips back and forth between Gyarados and Metagross.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah,
Those two were
I love
awesome.
Gyarados. My
Yes.
favorite,
Yeah, those
as
two
I
were
stated,
awesome.
but I've
Yes,
already
they are.
stated what my first 2 favorites are.
Charizard, Gyarados.
Charizard is my all-time favorite Pokemon. And it holds such a deep place in my heart. So deep, in
That
fact.
fake ass dragon.
So deep, in fact, that I've actually talked to you guys about it, but like I still plan on getting it. But there's this really cool Charmander tattoo where he's wearing a Charizard jacket, and he puts the hood up and he looks like Charizard, and like it speaks on so many different levels to me, not just on my love to Pokemon, but like that. And this sounds cheesy as fuck, but like that it makes you think that like you can still be grown up, but like be a kid on the inside, and I think that's cool. Like, because I mean we're all kids. Like I mean we're all fully grown adults.
You sounded like somebody who's going to get arrested at the playground.
You're a child in a man's clothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm allowed to be on the slide with the other kids. But
Timmy didn't get out of the way. He had to be put on.
Sir, can I see your identification? I'm just a kid.
Sir, you're 5 o'clock shadow.
why don't you push me on the swing?
Will you let me find my mommy? Are you the man who has the candy? All right,
Mommy told me to stay away.
I think
from
we're
you.
straying a little hard right now.
So Chris, your favorite Pokemon?
Oh boy.
Flygon, right?
No. He's a pussy boy, man. I'm Joe.
Man's not hot.
No.
Too topical.
That's called a Houston.
No, but, my favorite Pokemon. I remember telling us. I remember coming to him and I was like, Dawn, I have my list of my favorite Pokemon.
Oh,
and
I
he
know
was
your
like,
favorite, yeah.
he was like, who cares? Get back to fucking work.
No,
No, he didn't.
oh, that was loud. That came up really loud on
No,
Audacity.
that's a cough of guilt. That's what it is.
That's called a bitch ass cough.
Yeah.
Continue, sir.
My number one favorite. It will always be my number one favorite. Is Snorlax. He's the boy. He's the god.
Can I guess the second one? Because I think
Please
I know.
guess the second.
I can't remember her name.
Then why
or
are you
his
trying
name,
to guess
But
that?
no, Mudkip's third evolution.
No. I'll tell you. He's there.
Swampert?
That's it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Second?
Marshtomp, but that's the second.
Second is Gardevoir.
That's it. Okay.
I like it because it's
You spend a lot of time on
He
Rule
likes
42,
it.
or what is it?
Route 42. Yeah.
No, not Route 42.
34, my friend.
Rule 34, that's it.
Rule 34.
No.
Oh, okay.
I like
You
it.
look at you, so innocent, going to the routes, and we're talking about like animated form.
No, but he has a point. I'd always, that first round.
What are you
You-
talking about?
You don't know what Rule 34 is?
No, I don't. But is it?
Somebody obviously has a girlfriend.
If it exists, there's porn of it.
That's it.
That's the rule.
What?
It
Yeah,
is
there
one of the
exists,
rules
there's-
of the
yeah.
internet.
That Mario.
Yeah.
Porn.
Okay, you blame him, Pete.
Cappy?
I mean,
Well, I
Cappy?
mean,
Porn.
the hat.
did you say Kathy?
Cappy.
Cappy.
The cat.
Oh, Cappy. Oh. Well, I knew I'd seen an article about the whole Rick and Morty thing, where they made like a parody of it.
Well, my other favorite's Milotech.
Milotech.
Oh, I hate battling it. because it's such an asshole when you battle it.
Of course.
Because
Safeguard.
I enjoy my loading because it's like the 3rd gen Gyarados.
It really is. That's one of the things that drew me to it. And you remember that one Pokemon that it looked like a bell chime?
Oh yeah.
It was like it didn't have another
From, like,
evolution.
Gen 5, yeah.
And it's just like a little bitty bell and like a claw thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was its evolution, so I searched the game for it. And when I finally found it, I raised that thing up to like level 65, and
I
like never
fed it.
evolved.
I
threw
gave it clothes. I kept.
I
it
loved
warm.
you.
But you didn't love me.
The reason why I love Gardevoir. I mean, you guys have,
I don't know
nothing
why.
happened.
I don't know why that was so funny to me.
I need something to drink. So.
Patrick just slapped Elliot's leg.
I did
and
no
it was the
such thing.
funniest thing to me.
And I'm not leaving to get pizza and water or a drink or whatever.
Y'all were in the middle. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
I love you.
no, but Gardevoir is it's because it's so powerful. Because like it's
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I love Gardevoir.
it's fast too, and
It's a good Pokemon. I just don't really enjoy Psychic types, personally.
I love Psychic type. That's one of my favorite.
My favorite typings are Dragon and Dark for the most part.
Yeah, I like Dark. I love Dark. My least favorite type is probably Grass
Mine is probably Steel.
and Rock. I hate Rock. I never use a Rock type because there's so many fucking weaknesses. I don't know. I know there's a lot of advantages to having a Rock type, but I just don't. The only Rock type I've ever used is Aeron. That one thing from 3rd gen. That's the only thing I've ever used.
But that's because
I mean, it's Steel.
it was cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I've never used another Rock type. I don't like Onyx. I hate Onyx.
How? But
Because he's a weak pussy
no,
boy.
Onyx is like the Rock Gyarados, though.
No, he's
no, it's not.
No, he's.
You don't get to train this lowly creature up to a complete badass with Onyx.
Yeah, and also
It's just Onyx.
you know he has a lower base
Steelix is pretty badass.
in the games. You know he has a lower base attack than Oddish.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like Oddish's is 45, his is like 40.
Well,
Shut down the whole conversation.
I'm not exactly surprised because Onyx is meant to be a tank, not a.
Yeah, but like he's a giant rock snake.
I get what you're saying, but he's meant to be a tank.
Yeah.
And just to update, guys, when I went to go get a piece of pizza, my pepperoni fell into my Code Red. So.
Is it still in there?
No, I got it out. And yes, as you guessed, I did eat it. It was disgusting.
Did it taste cherry?
What do you think about all these Pokemon? A lot of people were upset with, like, back in the day, Pokemon's designs were better. Which, I mean, there's some pretty cool ones later on. Yeah. But, like, what do you think about, like, the ice cream cones and,
No, I don't understand why people are so, like...
It's, the Shopkins thing?
Yeah, the Shopkins.
Shopkins. Well, being that, we all work at Walmart, but me and Patrick we work in retail. And Elliot used to. We work in the electronics section, but we work close enough to toys to know that Shopkins is this thing that it's a. I don't like calling it like a girl's toy because anybody can play with it. It's geared toward little girls.
If you can find it in a shop, there is a shop.
I really thought you just wanted to go to Rule 34. I'm like, that's some dark shit. But I want to know what they did to the pink taco.
But basically, it's anthropomorphic foods. I mean, there's even a basket one, but yeah, there's like ice cream.
It's
pizza,
just general goods.
with face.
Yeah, but I didn't see that as lazy designs. I just saw them as.
It's something that I saw something, and it might have been a piece of fan art or something, where the Pokemon world, they base stuff around that they design around Pokemon. So, I mean, in my own head, it might be my own head canon.
I would hope they would base it around Pokemon.
It was in my head, my own personal head canon, that, like, they invented ice cream around the idea of this Pokemon, Vanillite or something like that.
Yeah, then they made trash.
I think so.
They made trash.
And now this shit's just turning into garbage pail kits.
Have any of y'all ever heard the theory that Team Rocket invented, or they created a Weezing?
That'd be so weird.
No.
I've never heard
y'all
that.
too.
I've never
Tell
heard
us
that.
the theory.
Tell us.
That's a theory. Team Rocket, when they were experimenting on making Mewtwo and all this crap,
no, that's Ditto.
Oh yeah, that is Ditto because Ditto was
Dittos are failed.
Ditto was a failed. Yeah, a failed Mewtwo.
That's why.
That's why you find Dittos down in the mansion.
Yeah, because that's where Mew was made.
But no, I heard a theory on like it's like from their labs where they like chemical runoff and everything and help create.
That makes sense.
We think so. Fuck all y'all. No, you take your Ditto and run. Which, by the way, one thing that's always got me is like, you know, in the games you have certain things where, you know, it's like super effective, but like in any other way. Like Ditto, like if the Pokemon were real, and Ditto would probably be one of the most badass Pokemon ever, and like all he is just get laid all the time. Tell me I'm wrong. You send your Pokemon to the daycare center, he's getting laid.
You're not, but you said that with a shake and a stare that made you look like a meth head.
Rule 34.
He's fucking getting laid.
I'm so jealous. Do I have to paint my ass purple in this going?
No, you just need dotted eyes.
No, but what was I gonna say? What is everyone's least favorite Pokemon?
Least favorite.
Least favorite.
That's a big one.
I'll go. My least favorite would have to be, and I might be pronouncing the name wrong, mainly because I don't give a shit about this Pokemon. Polygon or Polygraph? Porygon.
Fuck you,
yeah.
No.
Fuck Porygon.
Now, if we honestly think about it, Porygon would probably be one of the most powerful Pokemon if it was real.
In real life.
I'd be lit.
But I do like, I do think it's fucked up because if you've actually looked at it, the Pokédex entry, the further up it goes into its evolutions, it's like unstable, can control itself.
It's the hot mess Pokemon.
Another one of my least favorite was it's either Sun and Moon or the one before it, X and Y. Or not the one before X and Y, but Sun and Moon or X and Y. The one that's like, the Pokemon is actually a Pokedex.
Oh, Rotom?
Wait, no,
Yeah,
that's not
that's
a Pokemon.
Well, no,
that's not
he's
a
a
Pokemon.
ghost.
Rotom was its own Pokemon like 2 or 3 generations back.
Yeah, generation.
And now it's just possessed a Pokemon.
No, but you can't
but it can
use
possess
it
like freaking.
it's a ghost
actually, in the new
electric type.
game, they say you
Clearly,
can.
I don't know enough
with
about
the new
Pokemon.
Oh yeah, but that's like I say that's more like support. Like you get that stat.
But like he can change his typing. I think it's like a base ghost and maybe something else.
It's a ghost electric type by
Ghost
default.
electric, but he can possess like electronic devices.
Like a
and so
washing
like wash
machine.
machine, he becomes Ghost Water.
Or
which
a
I mean,
lawnmower.
which by the way, another one of my favorites from the 5th generation was the Ghost Water type Pokemon. It looks silly as fuck, but I mean, I thought it was cool.
Wait, what was it called?
I have no idea. I didn't play that generation.
I don't remember that Pokemon.
It looks almost like a balloon almost, not
Oh,
balloon.
Jellicent.
Yes.
Jellicent. Yeah, it's cool. Remember that one?
I think so.
It's plump.
I'm so glad this is not on on video.
I would say probably my least favorite Pokemon, and it's just weird. I just don't like the idea of the Pokemon and the aesthetic personally, but like Execute.
I can get behind
an
that.
awkward
I can-
Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I think it's cute. Because
I understand how it works. It's just like it's not appealing to me.
I like how
whatsoever.
I like how each head has its own personality. You know, like one that looks like,
It's
like
still
he's
probably
like pissed
picked
off.
It might have.
But like
I didn't like the trash Pokemon they were introduced. Trubbish didn't like him.
I thought it was
And
bad.
also any legendary.
Oh.
Out of here.
Yeah.
My least favorite Pokemon's Charizard. Yeet! No, but my least favorite Pokemon, Zubat. Fuck him in his hole.
I like Crobat though.
Why do you gotta be so?
No, I
violent?
hate Zubat because I'd always run into him in a cave and it pissed me off.
Okay, I can agree with that 100%.
What good memories can you have of Zubat?
And like, one of the worst things in the world
It worked
is
well
when
for
you
training my
got
Magikarp
caught.
that I just bought.
One of the worst things in the world in the games. It's kind of part of the. Well, it's not really. One of the worst things is getting trapped in a cave and then getting like you can't escape and you get hit with the fucking confusion again and again. Oh my lord!
That and I hate the fact that repels didn't work in caves.
Yeah.
sometimes. I think it varied from generation to generation.
I know you could. It's just like I'd always run out because it's such a big fucking cave, but you don't know where to go.
Well, it's just like you have to go through the cave to progress through the story, but you don't want to deal with the bullshit, so you use the repel, and then it doesn't work, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and then that's why I hate do that, because they confuse you for no reason, just to be dicks. They're like prolonging the inevitable. I will kill you.
The first game, you remember the cave that you go into and it's dark and you have to have flash? Well, I was a lazy fuck. I was lazy. I didn't do it. So if you look, you could if you had to get up close on the game, you could see the borders of the cave.
Yeah.
Where you could follow. And like I would never get fucking the HM or whatever it was. I would just like eyeball that shit and get through the cave, and I'm like, yeah.
No, I had that because like I don't know. I always had to get everything. So like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what was I saying? It was like. That's why I'm kind of glad they got rid of 8 gems. I miss them, like, it's having to collect 8 gems, but it's cool that you don't have to, like...
But do you think they're going to bring 8 gems back?
That's where they got if they do.
What, gems?
Yeah.
HM.
I hope they do, but as technical machines, because I miss the moves.
No, they're there.
I don't
They're
like
there.
their technical. I mean, let's be honest, we've all had HM slaves. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
They are there because I don't remember.
Zigzagoon is...
Zigzagoon was one of
He
the
can
worst
learn rock smash.
I would always keep
cut.
Lanoon for the pure fact of pickup.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I mean,
yeah, you guys get anything.
without HMs, Zigzagoon was never going to get used by anybody.
Lanoon's lit. Yeah, because he's fast.
This man.
He's fat. He can't hit that hard, but he's fast.
Teach a headbutt, flip schlock.
Yeah. And he can learn surf. He can learn surf.
This
Once
man
again, I
gets
didn't
me.
have friends, so I don't know about this whole battling other people thing.
You know, it's only
And I'm
half
old enough
of the
that
game.
back then, you know, there was no such thing as this confounded Wi-Fi. So,
Do you mean the Wi-Fi?
the Wi-Fi.
You mean the thing that the FCC is trying to get rid of by controlling what we see on the internet?
Did I try to
Yeah,
get
that.
Wi-Fi?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
They put mercury in the water.
That's a whole other topic that I don't know if we should get into. I know.
This has been pretty loud. Let's just save it for another
Yeah,
day.
we'll talk about
I'm just itching
the
my-
FCC.
I was itching my,
net neutrality later.
I was itching my grundle.
Your girlfriend.
You know,
I just
if you
wanna
had
know-
not said that, nobody would know.
I just want to know what people think and like what the fuck's a grundle.
I wonder how many people do already.
No, I was itching my.
Please get close to the mic and tell them exactly what you said.
No.
What were you itching? What were you itching?
Not my grundle. I
Get as close as
I
you
don't
can.
want to say my grundle because I don't want to look like a dumbass.
Oh, you just did.
No, I was itching my crotch. So.
Don't. This is public. This is family broadcast.
Public television.
We brought
This is fish.
And I literally said earlier, fuck her in the crusty taint. Or something like that was.
I don't want to have to bleep that out again. I'm already looking at an hour
You're
and a
not gonna
half.
bleep it out. You're just gonna be using
I think you said
Venusaur.
milk chunks. I think you said milk chunks.
Oh yeah.
God.
I think this is like descended. Like
This is went into like we're getting kicked off the internet now.
No, make a long story short, Pokemon.
Why?
Oh, that was really loud.
Why? Why? Come on, get back up.
Get back up. Nobody can hear
Drink you
you.
some more apple juice. Get back in the conversation.
Elliot's laying on the couch.
Can they not?
They can't.
Are you sure?
Oh, hold on. Everybody be quiet. Say it again.
Are you sure?
Muy pequeño.
Fuck you.
But to
To elaborate, I love Waterfire.
to elaborate, Snorlax, Gardevoir, Swampert, Venusaur.
Which, by the way, Snorlax is a badass.
He don't give a shit about nothing.
I want that GameStop
Yeah,
exclusive.
The pillow.
The pillow. Yeah, the big pillow.
Now, are you talking about the one that's like they have in Japan, which is like a life-size Snorlax?
Now, shout out to King Nappy. One of my favorite vlog videos of all time is when King Nappy bought the Snorlax thing and then went to Walmart and bought literally all of their cotton, and because they send the Snorlax, but it's not stuffed or anything, so they send it like 6 boxes. And
they could at least provide college. What the hell?
But he had to go and get like polyfill or polyfull, whatever it is that they sell at Walmart, and he had to stuff it, and like this whole vlog, I was like, this is the best thing ever because at the end of it, he's gonna land on giant Snorlax, and that sounds stupid.
Did you also see the life-size evolutions that they released? Like these things.
Life-size, like Eevee life-size?
Eevee
or like...
life-size, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that sounds so adorable.
Of course, it's fucking Eevee.
When are we buying them?
What?
When are we buying them?
Y'all,
I know.
we need to go to New York and go to the Nintendo store.
I really want that collection of Pokeballs that they have, like the metal, like feels good in your hand.
Oh yeah.
I want one of those so
bad. Amazon.
Let's throw
Amazon even has like they have those, and then I saw on Amazon they have the Dragon Balls, like the glass balls, in like a collector's tin, and it's the coolest thing ever, and I want both of them.
So you
But
already
I'm
know what you're
poor.
getting me for Christmas.
I know it. Yes.
Dragon.
I do know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Dragon Ball Z. Oh God. Last thing we did was my terrible singing.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
A sleeping bag.
No, that stupid spider box. Be like, it's yours now.
Which, by the way, when you get your friend a lock box that's cool as hell and it has a spiderweb design on it, and you spend 5 minutes trying to open it and never again, that makes the other person a dick. Mine was thoughtful, and I could have gotten it delivered to my house and told him I put something in it and made his ass work for it.
At which point I would have just broken the box apart. Because I could very easily do that, or I could leave it intact as is.
Speaking of Pokemon, and this is not to brag on me in any way.
Oh, shit.
No, one of my favorite things is for your birthday last year. Do you want to tell them what I got you?
What did you...
Was it last year or the year before? I got Chris a comic book, a Pokemon comic book, signed by it's Eric something, Eric Stewart, who is the voice of Brock. Not only Brock, but he's also the voice of Seto Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh! And something else, I think in Digimon.
Kaiba Corp.
He also played. He was the voice of Raph in the second iteration
Did he have
of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But no, it came with like a certificate of authenticity and everything. It was the coolest thing ever, and like I almost kept it for myself once I saw the certificate of authenticity.
Just know, Chris, if you ever die, he's taking it.
Unless we kill him first.
That's how you think wisely.
Well, my mom told me, she was like, don't sell the Leonard Nimoy.
Well, you gotta elaborate now.
Huh?
You gotta elaborate now.
Oh.
Otherwise, everyone think you've got Leonard Nimoy's
No,
don't sell Spock.
I got his left pinky toe.
I got his ear. It wasn't pointy at all.
To elaborate, to elaborate, my grandma, when she was younger, when the Star Trek original series first came out, this was back when actors could actually do this. She sent a letter to Leonard Nimoy, and it basically he sent an autographed picture back. And stop. He sent an autographed picture back. Well, anyways, she found out it was authentic. You could see the pen and everything. Well, anyways, she passed it down to my mom, and for my 21st birthday, which was this year, not even like 2 weeks ago, she gave it to me for my birthday. So I have an autographed picture of Leonard Nimoy, and it's pretty cool. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's on the TV thing, the TV stand.
He's lying. It's not there.
It's not there. But anyways, I guess it's been a pretty successful first episode. We're hitting an hour and 18 minutes. So any last minute thoughts on Pokemon?
Well, it's decent. 7 out of 10. Yeah.
IGN 3.5.
I give it a 5 out of 7.
5 out of 7?
7 out of 10. Too much water. Yeah.
I'll give it a 7 out of 5.
Have you guys seen that? The review.
I know what you're talking
it's
about.
like a meme, but like.
Oh yeah, the review of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
What the fuck does that mean? Do you not like water?
Too much water.
We are made of what
we're
90%.
like 75% water.
Yeah. What, you don't like yourself? Because I feel you.
But anyways, are we good? Is it,
I mean, are we ever good?
True.
Insert forced laughter, and I'm Patrick.
I'm Dalton.
Shit. Oh, I'm Chris.
And I'm Ellie.
And this has been You go ahead.
This has been Velocicaster. I think I said that right, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean,
We'll see you again, or you'll hear us again in episode 2.
also, I'm a moose.
I'm a moose.
That's got to be part of the thing.
It's gotta be one. Love you.